You're never going to get to sharpen knives in the house again, honey. I'm going to do it.
Okay. Yay.
How to sharpen your knives using a whetstone. I'm Urvashi.
And I'm Roger.
Our blog is wouldibuythis.com, and today we're going to give you an unbiased review and instructions on how to use a whetstone. So first, let's talk about the different pieces and parts of a whetstone. What is this?
This is a whetstone.
Surprise!
Yeah.
What is this?
This is a whetstone holder.
And what are these jobbies?
These are guides to give you the proper angle to sharpen your knife. On the side, you'll see that this says 6,000 and 1,000. That is how smooth and fine it is. So anything less than 1,000 is for taking nicks out of the blade of a knife. If you've nicked your knife and you want to take that out, get a 300 grit stone. It'll cut really fast and really deep. But it's not very smooth. So 1,000 grit, between 1,000 and 1 or 2,000 or 3,000, is for actually sharpening a knife that's just dull. Mm-hmm. Okay, so a 6,000 then is for polishing the edge. And when you polish the edge, the knife gets sharper.
I've noticed you wet that thing before you get started. Why do you wet it? Now,
okay.
Let me specify this. It's not a whetstone like W-E-T. It's a W-H-E-T. So wetting your appetite, wetting the edge. So it's very confusing. But you also have to wet your whetstone.
And so you need to soak it in water for 4 or 5 minutes or 10 minutes before you start using it. The water soaks into it, then you keep it wet while you use it. And what that does is that this takes off very fine little grains of steel as you're sharpening it, and those will get lodged in the surface of that stone. The water kind of lubricates them so they don't get stuck in the stone and they flow out. It keeps your stone clean, keeps your stone cutting. You take water and you put it on the whetstone.
So complicated.
I know. You want to try it?
Go on.
There's 4 things you need to do to sharpen a knife with a whetstone. Maybe it's 3. 3. Pressure, speed, and angle. Angle is one of the most important. This is a Asian knife, so it's 16 degrees.
There are 2 kinds of knives. There's, 2 major kinds of knives that you can buy in the United States. One is Western edge knives, and the other one is Japanese or Asian edge knives. A Japanese or an Asian knife is at a steeper bevel with a thinner edge. So like a 16 bevel is usually for an Asian one. Western ones will have 19 or 20 bevel.
So the difficult part is setting the number of degrees. This needs 16 degrees. It's about that much.
Can I tell them what you said the first time?
Okay.
So the first time Roger did this video, he's having to redo it. The first time we were like, how do you know it's 16 degrees? He's like, I just know. And I'm like, great, but that doesn't help the rest of us poor schmucks. So he's going to explain it with some gadgets.
But if you come visit, I'll show you what 16 degrees is.
No visitors, COVID.
Okay, so this is a little wedge. You buy them in this box. There's a whole bunch of them in here. From 10 degrees to 20 or 30 degrees.
Where does it tell you that?
Right on the top. It says, this one
14.
happens to say 16.
16, got it.
They also give you this rubber band, and there's a notch in this. So you put the little notch right there, the rubber band in the notch, and then you put it down on the stone, and you put the rubber band around the stone, like that. Okay, now you have this little ramp on the top of your stone. Now, if you're going to sharpen a knife there, you need something to hold the knife. Now, it's on a paper towel, and that'll work, but that's not anywhere close to optional.
Optimal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you said.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing about a stone is they're quite brittle. If you drop it on the floor, it'll break. A good stone is not cheap, so you don't want to drop it on the floor. This is made by J.K. Swilling, and it holds the stone. You don't need that. It's kind of nice, but you don't need it. You can use a dishcloth, set your stone on it. You can use a piece of silicone. This happens to be a hot plate, hot pad, and that'll hold it just fine. Protects it, keeps it from sliding. This little guide, what that's for is if you set your knife on there, that makes your knife 16 degrees off the stone. So when you come down here and it touches the stone, then you just maintain that edge as you go across the knife. Now
So you don't pull it straight across?
No, no. You slide it at 16 degrees. There's 2 things you want to do while you're sliding it. You don't push real hard. All you do is gouge the stone. And you don't go real fast. There's no need.
Can I try?
Yeah.
Okay, so you hold it like this, and then?
And then hold the other end of it so you've got control of it.
Like that?
Pretty much.
What am I doing?
Probably need a little more pressure. And one of the things you want to do is use the entire stone. Yeah.
Okay, so that's great for this side. And then when I have to do the other side, do I just need to move this over?
No, you just turn your knife around and hold it in the other hand. Do the same thing, set your angle on the thing. Don't touch the stone with the blade yet.
Oh.
Set the angle down there where you can see a little blue. Now you got the angle. Move it onto the stone. Take this end with the thing and just slide it across.
Oh my goodness. You're never going to get to sharpen knives in the house again, honey. I'm going to do it.
Okay, yay. So the other thing you want to do is you start back here, and as you go across, you want to finish at the other end of the stone.
Got it. So when would I use the other side?
After the knife has been sharpened with this. This leaves scratches in the edge of the stone. This is 6 times finer, 6,000 grit, and this will take the scratches out that the other side put on and make the edge considerably finer and smoother.
So do we have to use water again?
Yep. This is actually a little kind of easier to see because this will actually leave a mark. See that gray mark?
Mm-hmm.
That's steel. That's what the stone is taking off. So it doesn't require 400 passes on it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is another thing I bought just to show you what this is, because there are a lot of these around. If we put this on this knife and you slide it onto the back like that, and you come up here, this sets the angle of your knife, okay? Mm-hmm. And then you can slide it. Well, there's 2 things wrong with that. One is this is 16 degrees, and right now the knife isn't at 16 degrees. The other thing is that it depends how wide the knife is. Because if you put this on this knife, then it's a lot steeper.
Yeah.
So you can't set your angle. So why even have it?
So basically just buy these. We're going to link to these in the bottom. The knives are sharp. How do I take care of that whetstone? Look how filthy it looks.
Yeah.
Dirty whetstone.
It's pretty tough. You have to put a little water on it. And if you rub it with your finger, you see all that mud.
Oh, yeah.
That's little steel filings.
You can put it under water, right? You can hold it under running water and just dry it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Once a week for an often used knife, really once a month for most people's use, you should use a whetstone. Here's what you need to know. Buy a whetstone that has 1,000 on one side and 6,000 on the other. Find either a non-slip surface, or if you're a gadget geek, a made-to-order stand, linking to all of these. I would highly recommend, unless you're one of those people that can eyeball something and say, oh, that's 16 degrees or 19 degrees, buy one of these guides, put it on here, and fasten with a rubber band, and do the knife sharpening the way we told you. All you have to worry about is angle, which this will take care of. Pressure, don't press too hard. You can see how the filings are coming off. And speed. There's no need to be in a rush. Nobody's taping you as far as I know. And if they are, they will just marvel at your expertise. So this is how you do it with a whetstone. It's a lot easier than it looks. However, there's actually one method that is even easier, and we're going to show you a separate video for how to do that using a work sharp tool. I'm Urvashi.
I'm Roger.
Our blog is wouldibuy this.com. Thank you for watching. We hope that was helpful.